Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about if the San Francisco 49ers should trade quarterback Trey Lance. The number 3 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft was just announced that he will be the third-string quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Sam Darnold, another former 3rd overall. Was he? No. Wasn't he the 2nd overall pick? I think Darnold was the 2nd overall pick for the Jets. Or maybe he was the 3rd overall pick. Sam Darnold, former high Jets draft pick, was announced as the backup quarterback. I talked about this in another video yesterday where I was talking about the San Francisco 49ers potentially trading Trey Lance to the Minnesota Vikings. And when I was talking about that, I said I've never really seen a backup quarterback competition like this between Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, which is, as interesting as it's been. I mean, normally when there is a quarterback competition between a backup and a third string and someone and they're fighting to, win the backup job, usually no one gives a crap. But this was a really fun battle to watch between the two. This is not like they were fighting for, a starting job, but you have, two good quarterbacks trying to fight for a backup job, and then, whoever doesn't get it's going to be the third string quarterback. And I feel like if Trey Lance was announced the backup quarterback, I think Sam Darnold would have taken it better than Trey Lance has, because Trey Lance didn't show up to practice at all today. He did not show up, and now the 49ers are, exploring trading options for Trey Lance. I got to be honest, if you put things in reverse and Darnold was announced the third string quarterback and Trey Lance got the backup job, honestly, I think Darnold's probably still going to be there at practice. I get where Trey's, frustrations come from. 2021, he was the backup quarterback. He was, 2021, he was the 3rd overall pick, and, his first year in the NFL, he had to sit on the sidelines for most of the season. I think he played in like 2 games with 1 start in his rookie season, but he had to sit on the sidelines and watch Jimmy Garoppolo do his thing. He had to watch him lead his team watch him lead his team to the NFC Championship game, and didn't really get to be a part of any of that. I think he started 1 game and played in 2. I know he started 1 game against the Houston Texans because I'm a Texans fan. I can't remember the other game. I think he played a game against the Arizona Cardinals as well. I think he started 2 games as well. I think he started 2 games against the Cardinals and the Texans in his rookie year, and then he played like a 3rd game, but it wasn't a start. But then Jimmy was the starter. And then going into his rookie season last year, it's supposed to be his time to shine. It's supposed to be, his time to finally be the starter of the future for the 49ers. And then disaster happens. He had the ankle injury, and, then he's out for the season. Now the guy that he had to watch all season last year, the year before in 2021, Jimmy Garoppolo, who, he thought was probably going to be traded, moved on elsewhere, playing quarterback somewhere else, agreed to a deal with the 49ers to stay as the backup quarterback, become the richest backup quarterback in the NFL, and now he's playing again, and Trey Lance has to watch that. Then Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. Then this kid from where did Brock Purdy go to school? I can't remember. It's some Big 12 school. Then this kid that was a 7th round draft pick, Brock Purdy, the last pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, literally Mr. Irrelevant, and he has to watch this kid come in and just lead this 49ers team and do a great job with them. His first ever start, he scored like 38 points against and beat Tom Brady 38-7 in his first start, and did really well with that starting group for the San Francisco 49ers. Just did very, very well with the 49ers. Did well in the playoffs too, got 2 playoff wins. And even though he got injured in the NFC Championship game, what he showed in the regular season and his 2 playoff games, he earned that that starting spot. And him being back in practice, he he continued to show it too. But yeah, I mean, it's just that's a tough situation for Trey Lance that he's been through since he got drafted. But still, I don't think the 49ers should trade Trey Lance. And here's why the 49ers shouldn't trade Trey Lance. Here's number one. Look at the assets the San Francisco 49ers, gave up to get Trey Lance. They gave up 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick to trade up for that number 3 overall, to jump from 15 to 3. And they did all that to get this guy. They're not going to get any value. It's going to be like 1% of the value they gave up to go jump up and get Trey Lance, than what they're going to get back. They gave up 1 second-round pick to get Trey Lance with the other first-round picks. I doubt they could even get a second-round pick for Trey Lance. That's how much trade value I think his because if anybody's going to trade for Trey Lance, I really don't see anybody trading for Trey Lance as a starting quarterback. I mean, unless it's the Arizona. The only time I could see trading for Trey Lance as a starter is the Arizona Cardinals, because they're actually looking for a starter. Because right now their starter would be Colt McCoy. But I think anybody else that's going to bring this guy in, it's going to be for a backup job. But I don't think they're going to get any decent value back for him in a trade with draft picks. And not only that, look at the injuries. I mean, I've already expressed it a little bit in this video, but look at all the injuries this team suffered last season at the quarterback position. You have a chance to have 3 talented quarterbacks in this QB room. Look at it. I mean, starting with Trey Lance himself, week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. He breaks his ankle, or I think he did, season-ending ankle injury. He's out for the year. He was there. He was going to be their starter that season, so he's gone. Luckily, the 49ers didn't trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and they signed him to that extension to be like the richest backup quarterback in the NFL, and he was there to be the starter again. It was so ironic. Okay, Jimmy G, after this was going to be Trey Lance this season, is back at it at quarterback for the 49ers. And after all that, Jimmy G's back, and he does pretty solid, when he's there, but he gets hurt like week 11, week 12, something like that, and he's out for the season with a shoulder injury. So he's gone. So now it's 2 quarterbacks with season-ending injury just in the regular season. 2 guys that are starting quarterbacks. So then, like I've said, you have to rely on the 7th-round pick, Brock Purdy. And once you do that with Brock Purdy, he does really well. Get to the playoffs. Look at the NFC Championship game. 2 injuries, another 2 injuries right there. Brock Purdy gets hurt in the NFC Championship game. And then they do have a backup quarterback, of course, Josh Johnson, veteran quarterback who's now in the Baltimore Ravens. He comes in, he does solid, but guess what? He gets hurt. Now they have no quarterback. So they had to put injured quarterback Brock Purdy back in the game, and also had to use Christian McCaffrey, star running back, as a wildcat, a quarterback, and it was just a total disaster for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think, I'm praying, I'm crossing my fingers. I don't think that injuries at the quarterback position will haunt the 49ers like it did last year. But if it happens again, and you got a quarterback like Brock Purdy, who, was one of those quarterbacks last year that had those injury problems, you keep 3 talented quarterbacks on your roster. Because if one quarterback goes down, okay, let's just say, I'm just hypothetical. Let's just say Brock Purdy gets injured in the regular season. Then most likely Sam Darnold becomes the starter. So Sam Darnold becomes the starter. If you trade Trey Lance, who's going to be the starter if Sam Darnold gets injured? Because if Sam Darnold gets injured, there's Trey Lance ready to go. I just think with all the injuries that happened last year, and with them not having a quarterback in that NFC Championship game, it screwed them. And honestly, if they had 3 quarterbacks in that game, in that NFC Championship game, I honestly think the 49ers could have beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think they would have, because I think the Eagles were better than them, and also, you're not gonna have you're not gonna have as good as a quarterback out there. Not only that, but maybe he's not that experienced with the offense as a third string quarterback. But I think it would have been a different circumstance. I don't think the 49ers would have lost as bad as they did, 31-7 in the NFC Championship game. I think it would have been a closer game with another quarterback in there instead of injured Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, star running back, at the quarterback in that NFC Championship game. So for that case, for the 49ers to be successful, you keep all three quarterbacks in case the same thing happens again this year with injuries to the quarterback position. And not only that, you're not going to get the value you gave up for him. I don't think, you're not, number one, you're never going to get, the value you gave up, the value you gave up to go trade up and trade for Trey Lance. So, don't even think about that. You're never going to get a first-round pick for Trey Lance. He can become the starting quarterback. I don't think you're going to get a first-round pick for him. But yeah, it should be interesting to see. Do I think Trey Lance gets traded? Possibly. I think the only way he gets traded is if he forces his way out from San Francisco. I don't think they want to move him, but if he forces them to, I do think they will. But use your thoughts. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And let me know your thoughts on the potential trade. You guys let me know in the comment section. Do you think the 49ers should trade or keep Trey Lance? That's it for the video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.